Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? So I am trying out my new microphone stand. So hopefully everybody can hear me all right. And yeah, we are live. Okay, so it's showing that we are live there. Okay, so good morning, Weeks. How are we doing today? So, interesting morning going on so far. We're waiting for people to show up. And hello, all. Shoveling mulch. It didn't sound like you were shoveling mulch a little while ago. Greetings from Washington. Welcome, Washington. Hopefully everything's doing well out there. We are waiting for people to show up, and we will get this showboat rolling. So it looks like people are just starting to get the notifications saying that we are live. So we should start populating pretty quick. Yep. Allergies. Absolutely. And Jason, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to figure this whole mic set out. And just so people know, that's what this is. If you're wondering, there's my mic. So I'm trying something different. People said I needed to have it out of the way, so I'm not holding on to it. So we are doing what we can. So, how many people actually watched last night's episode? Hello, Patty from Maryland. Looks like we have New Mexico, we have Illinois, we have California, we have Pennsylvania. Good morning, Josh. So, is it posted? Yes. If you go to the YouTube channel, look for interview series. It was kind of a emotional, in both a good and a bad way. So I think if people really want to see the human side of corruption and disgusting behavior, definitely watch last night's episode. So watch the replay. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Missed a live, but watched it earlier. Guys, that is a story that I think will end up getting mainstream attention. I have reached out to lots of nationally syndicated shows, and we have received confirmation that they will air it on at least 4. when we are waiting to hear. So, but yeah, I will post a link in the Signal group for anybody who wants to watch it. Hello, South Dakota. Western South Dakota, I should say. But yeah, anyways, we have there's a lot of activity going on. We really don't have official confirmation as to what's going on, but yeah, Winks has been tracking it. Same with Jason. As we hear more and as we figure out more, we will let people know. Um, because quite honestly, there's a lot of unknowns. I've looked at every website that should have an explanation, especially with the scramble going on. There should be some explanation, but yet I have not been able to find one. So, but there's going to be some executive actions that are handed down today in regards to Second Amendment stuff that we're going to cover later on in the program. But we're going to cover what we're talking about with the scramble. But I'm going to blow my nose real quick. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna pull it up and we're gonna try to get a good explanation going on for you guys. So yeah, we will. I'm getting the map pulled up. I'm gonna double check and make sure my persistence mode isn't on. But yeah, so there's Wix has been tracking it, and I am looking to find the exact aircraft. But yes, there was a three Marine ones, two Blackhawks that were out, or Nighthawks they call them, that were out and about in Washington. And then shortly after, we seen a Doomsday go up, and we also saw a couple other aircraft, three Nighthawks. We saw a couple other aircraft, 82 8000, and then we saw the plane that's used as Air Force Two that just took off as, or that's up as well. So but we're gonna share screen, and it's kind of funny because so guys, 82 8000 is basically been making racetracks over Greensboro. So he's it looks like he might be coming in for a landing. Just so people see what I'm talking about. there he is. And he's down to 1,100 feet. So, okay. I'm there we go. That makes it a little bit clearer as to what's going on. So, and others, this is what is usually Air Force Two being tracked by one of the Doomsday aircraft. So there's a lot of activity in regards to that. You don't really see a whole lot of the helicopter traffic in regards to Washington, and then all of a sudden just popping out into some of these other areas. Why is it? That's the thing that we don't know, and why AF. Why does 82-8000? Why is it showing as just circling over Greensboro? Nobody knows. But yeah, now it is back up and climbing. It's climbing at about 776 feet per minute, and it's back over 24,000 feet or 2,400 feet. So it's going back up. I don't know what the story is, why it keeps doing what it's doing, but I think everything's coming back and it's going to go back to JBA. Winks, again, we don't know. So it's going to be an interesting. I sent some I requested some information from a couple of the people that I know that do this stuff for a living. They're air traffic control, and hopefully we can hear back from them fairly soon. So that's kind of where we're at right now with that information. As for Joe Biden signing, he's supposed to sign 6 executive orders today, basically outlining the stabilization, or he's attempting to outlaw stabilization attachments for pistols that would basically turn it into a short barrel rifle. And I don't even know what to say to that guy. I mean, he thinks that he's going to rule by executive order because Congress can't get nothing passed. When you start doing, when you start pushing a narrative and it doesn't work, what's the resort that the left uses? Executive orders. Well, executive orders aren't going to be really. I don't think anybody's going to actually follow them. In fact, we're seeing states standing up saying, hey, anything that the federal government hands down, we are not going to comply with. Texas is one of those places, and my hat's off to them. I think a lot of us need to literally start calling our congresspeople and start demanding that they don't take a check until they start passing bills that are beneficial for the country. Because quite honestly, a lot of people were being put out of jobs, but Congress didn't care. They were out collecting a paycheck, saying, "Oh, we are doing our best to help the American public, but we're going to continue to collect our checks, even though the American public isn't." So off more than they work, absolutely. They spend more time off than they spend on. But circling back to last night, guys, I know a lot of people don't really understand why I picked up that story and why I gave them pretty much unfettered access and told them they could say their piece. And we are going to have them back on for follow up interviews. But I'm gonna be very crystal clear. I was a victim of child abuse. So child abuse in any shape, form, or fashion is a very sensitive subject to me. When you really want to talk about child abuse, I was 6 months old and I had multiple skull fractures. I was told by the doctors, or my adoptive parents were told by my doctors, that I was going to be mentally retarded. That I'd never have a normal life, and I was always going to be a special needs person. When you're given that kind of a diagnosis at the at a young age, people treat you differently. People don't act the same around you. So when I see stories like the couple that was on last night, the Stevens family, when I look at those stories and I hear them, my heart breaks because I experienced it. I know what happened, and for me, it is a vindication and a justification for me to actually help people who otherwise are not able to help themselves. So when I we we talk about child abuse, we talk about all this stuff. Doesn't mean I'm completely against discipline. No, I believe discipline. There's a time and a place, but boiling water, throwing babies, stuff like that, that is horrible, and it will be condemned by me and by people that I surround myself with, because quite honestly, it has no place in society. As far as what happened to me, I was adopted at 4 years old by a very loving family. They took care of me. They treated me right. I grew up in a very well disciplined home, and I didn't have access to the modern technologies that we currently enjoy today. If people ask me, "Well, do you have a TV in your home?" No, and still to this day, I do not. I work very hard to raise my kids traditionally. The Bible says that if you spare the rod, you will spoil the child. If you discipline your children, your children will not turn into little ignorant crapheads later on down the road. And I know a lot of people a lot of people have heartbreaking stories that they tell. And I appreciate the social workers. I appreciate everybody that dealt with my case because they dealt with it right. The story last night is the example of when the system fails the parents and the system fails the child. So I talked to that couple for about an hour and a half after the show last night, and we really dived into services and things that I'm going to help assist getting them in touch with. Attorneys, therapists, people who can actually do and make a change. The case is 14 years old. It is a long thing, but there are some things that give me pause to believe that there may have been sexual abuse. And sexual abuse in Oregon has no statute of limitations. So we're gonna work with the legal teams, and we're going to work with people who are able to handle that, and we are going to see it through that there is justice for that family. Because it doesn't matter whether you're white, it doesn't matter if you're brown, it doesn't matter if you're black, it doesn't matter what your skin color is. Something like this happens. If I can ascertain that you are in the right, 100% of the resources at my disposal will go in to fight in those kind of cases. So you know, and guys, there are a lot of foster families that are awesome foster families. But you also have a lot of foster families that are not so great, that further the abuse, because they don't really care about the rest of it. They just care about the money that's associated or that's tied with it. But yeah, as far as helping that family, we are going to do everything in our power, and it's going to be expensive, but at this point I don't really care. We are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that family is taken care of. So I'm working with them to get we're working with them to figure out exactly how much is going to be needed, donation, stuff like that. And we are going to really help in any way, shape, or form. This is disgusting. Little girl in New Mexico is raped and beaten to death by her mom's guy friend. He only got a year in prison. They let him walk out because of COVID. That guy shouldn't be getting out after a year or even after 6 months or any length of time. That guy should be locked away forever. The government does corrupt everything they touch. You look at all the stuff that's going on in this world. If Social Security was privatized, guess what? there'd be a surplus each and every single year. 1 second. But yeah, I think just about everything that the government does should be privatized. I believe the IRS, abolish the IRS. Go to a 15% flat tax and just abolish the IRS. The FBI, where in the Constitution does it say that the FBI has any jurisdiction? Where does it give credibility to the FBI? It doesn't. There's zero places in the Constitution where the FBI actually has power. Where does it say that there's CPS? Because CPS is actually ran at a federal level as well. They have their state, but they also have a federal budget that they get as well. So the feds control the CPS. Where does it say in the Constitution that the CPS is legal? They don't have to have warrants. They don't have to have anything, but yet they can take kids from parents. I understand the need for CPS in some aspects, but they can come in without warrants and take children out of the homes. Where is the constitutional authority there? When we start looking at how corrupt the system is, you will find corruption at every level in our government. And the only way to really, really fix it, start getting rid of these programs. Yeah, and here, South Dakota, and I think a lot of other states, a CPS worker has just as much authority as the law enforcement. They could just come in without a warrant and take him. That's a sad reality in a lot of states. But to see that little girl who is now an adult having to suffer for 14 years with multiple debilitating issues, it's a pretty sick deal. This morning I reached out to OSU or OSHU, which is the hospital, one of the hospitals that they went to. I reached out to them and to get a statement. And of course, right away they went into defensive. And they said, sorry, we will not provide any information in regards to treatment of a patient, past or present, or give status into any allegations that those patients may have. So do we have any problems with the Indian nation here? A lot of Native American children are the ones that are ending up in the or in the system with DSS. I know my foster or my adoptive parents were foster parents to several Native American children, and they tried to adopt them. They wouldn't allow us to adopt. and it's all because of the tribal. We did have the ability to adopt another a half native boy, and it was a fight to do so, but we were able to win in the end. And he was still given the same treatment. He's still exposed to the culture. People are afraid that if they don't, they are afraid that if a white family adopts a Native American child, that they won't be exposed to their culture. Yep. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. I don't know why people do what they do, but yep, exactly. They have control. But we want to make sure that people are aware of these issues, and I've last night's show, there's going to be more to it, and it is going we are taking this to a national audience. I've reached out to 79 different conservative talk shows and TV shows, and we've got agreements secured that they will air an interview of their parent of this young girl's parents. And when we're not 100%, but they are coming together and they're actually making it happen. So, and as soon as we have their donation site set up, I will let you guys know here. I'll let you know on Signal. I'll have the link up on the webpage, and we then I will have a link from the website that we are building for them. We will have a link to the website as well. So child abuse seems to be the number one problem in America and maybe the world. That and sex trafficking. We there's a big problem with both, and we will do everything we can to shed light there. But I'm gonna keep it nice and short. We're going to there is so much stuff that we are definitely going to discuss. I haven't heard of that one, but I will definitely take a look at it. As far as the COVID lockdown, it's gotten worse, yes. But the whole thing with this family is they look at this Black Lives Matter movement, and they're black, They look at all this Black Lives Matter movement, and this should be the perfect story that should draw a lot of outrage, but yet it don't, because it's against a prominent white politician's friend or brother. And I just don't understand how people can be this screwed up. True character of a society can be determined by how they treat their children. Absolutely. And that's what these people are talking about. It's all a lie. They can see the farce. And that's what makes them so angry. They've been trying to get this national attention on this for over a decade. And they started to give up hope. Now we're gonna do what we can to give them hope and answers. And sometimes even when you really get down to the nitty gritty, a lot of the answers are locked up inside her head, and without help, she won't be able to overcome it. So let's get the help that she needs. I know we have nurses, we have doctors, we have lawyers. People, if you know people who are in those professions that see this story and want to help, definitely send me an email or have them call me. Because stuff like that, we need to we need outside resources. So people, yep. And now that schools are opening back up, a lot of this abuse is starting to really be reported. So as far as the Plains, we are with the world. So yeah, I'm looking at the Plains real quick to see if we can ascertain what's going on. AF2 looks like it's about ready to come in for a landing. $8,200 is, or 82,800 is still circling. And doing touch and goes. Many go without the counseling because of funds. Yes, correct. And I believe that we're gonna. I work it out a bunch of stuff trying to figure things out. So, guys, keep that family in your prayers because they're going to need them. They're going to have a difficult road ahead. They've had a difficult road, and we want to keep the pressure on. And as we get a game plan together, exactly what all we're going to do, we'll let you guys know where it is that we need the help. But if you do know lawyers that are able to take cases like this or are interested in taking cases like this, let me know, because then we can actually sit down and talk with them. And yeah, I'm not really concerned about the cost, because at this point people need these people need help. Absolutely. But yeah, as far as the news front, when we're talking about the gun control and all that stuff, we really don't know everything that's in it until it is released and he has his conference, which I am hearing. I'm gonna double check his calendar real quick, but I believe okay, so at 11:40, oh, it's going on right now. So let's see if we can tune into that. I'm gonna see if I can't find it. And there's really is not showing yet, but as soon as it starts to show, we will record it for you guys. That way, if there's anything interesting besides the fact that he's going to push to control every aspect of firearms, we'll break it down and discuss it tonight. But guys, that is all I really have for you right now. And if something comes up during the day, we figure out what's going on, we'll let you guys know. So as always, you guys have a pen and a microphone. Use them. Talk to your representatives. Talk to your friends, your family. Share that story that we had from last night. Shed light on people. You guys have a pen and a microphone. Use them. The silent majority can no longer stay silent. God bless you guys. God bless the United States of America. And we'll see you tonight at 7 p.m.